All right, what's going on, guys? Zach Kleindens coming to you guys with another podcast episode. Today I got a special treat for you guys. Look at all the beautiful cars in the driveway. Today I'm going to share with you guys a very special guest. His name is Dennis. You can find him on Facebook. It goes by Dennis Credit Repair. He owns a very successful credit repair business down here in South Florida, and he's going to give you guys the opportunity to also start your own credit repair business, show you how you could do it and how you could possibly even partner with him. I can't wait for you guys to see the episode. You're in for a treat. I'll see you guys soon. Hey, what's going on, Dennis? Thank you so much for joining me today.
Hey, Zach, pleasure.
Appreciate it, man. So guys, listen, we could go on and on with this guy, Dennis. Before we hit the camera here, he was telling me all about these movies that he played in and everything else, but what we want to talk about today is just really keep it simple for the success and the business that Dennis is in and how he got his start. So Dennis, if you don't mind me asking, man, like give us a quick little background of yourself, where you came from. I know you weren't born in this country, so just give us a quick little background of how you came to South Florida.
Absolutely, Zach. So came to this country in 1988 from former Soviet Union. Came out of a very difficult communism regimen that was enforced back then. I was lucky to get out of the country and come to this wonderful United States of America, where I started at 14 years old, basically bagging groceries. And over the years, I'm 50 now, now I own my own business, very successful business, I might say.
Yep.
And it was a long road, but it was a lesson, in life, and lucky to be, here today and be able to answer all the questions you may have for me.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, so it's funny you brought up, so you said you used to push carts or?
Bag groceries.
Bag groceries.
Yeah,
so
for public supermarkets, yeah.
So you're at Publix. So one of my first jobs was at Giant Food Store, which was in Pennsylvania before I moved to Florida.
Nice.
And I was in the meat department, but then I got demoted because I could never work for anybody else. So I'm an entrepreneur too myself, right?
Nice.
So I was bagging groceries and I was pushing carts. I was doing both. So it's funny how.
So my story, what happened to me actually is, I happen to be an artist, which is a talent that was forgotten about and buried, within myself. But it was Halloween actually, and I was in the lunchroom and I drew a witch on a little napkin. And one of the managers came up to me and he said, "Can you make that bigger?" Long story short, I ended up doing murals and windows for 37 supermarkets, around that time in 1989, making upwards about $1,000 a week at 15 years old.
That's
so
insane.
Again, I was pretty much working for myself. Publix would pay for all the supplies, give me all the assignments. We won the Budweiser contest several times. We won the National Craft contest several times. And this is going back to the days where there was no large format printing, where we did everything by hand. And I actually sat there for hours and hand drew, different things and stuff like that. Yeah, so that's my story.
Man. So exactly what I said earlier, we could go in for all these stories that you have, bro, because you have, you're an artist, you have a decal bit, you have all these things going on, man. So I don't know how you stay on top of it, but you do a phenomenal job with it. But so as we know, and the audience knows, that you do credit repair.
Correct.
So that's the main source. That's the main hub of what you do right now.
Yes.
Okay, so from the grocery store to the artwork to, when did you get into credit repair, and why did you decide to do credit repair?
So it's a little ironic. So my background stems, from being an artist into a owner of 9 retail locations. We used to own a company called Huge Supplements. I was in the fitness business. Had 2 successful gyms, and at some point, I became a little bit tired of being on my feet at 5 o'clock in the morning, training people, dealing with nutrition and everything else. It got to me. After 20 years, it becomes, a little bit annoying. Let's
so that was
just say.
20 years in that business.
20 years, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, 20 years in that business. And, about 10 years ago or so, my brother came to me and he had some credit issues, and he told me, "Listen, I think I figured out how to fix credit. Do you want to open up a company?" So we did that. We opened up our first office 10 years ago in Pompano Beach, Florida. And, today we're 2 offices strong. We have one in Broward County, one in West Palm Beach, much larger, more employees. We're doing very well for ourselves.
Wow. So when you started off, so this was 10 years ago, how did you guys get the confidence to just start doing it with other people? Did you guys start off doing it for free for friends and family, and then you got results, and you're like, okay, well, there's something to this. Let's see if we can make this more of a business.
So pretty much, so my brother was the first guinea pig. I was the second. This 2008 really took a big toll on everybody, in Florida. There was
that was the housing crisis back then.
Right. So I pretty much lost, my retail locations back then. I kept my gyms, for many, many years after that. And I had one store left in Boca Raton, which we managed. It was called Pro Nutrition. It was primarily supplement and smoothies, which did very well because we're right next to the Black Zillions. So I happen to know Rashad Evans, John Jones, Kamaru Usman. I watched Kamaru basically come up, from where he's at, today. Unfortunately, he lost, but he's still a great UFC fighter and a good buddy of mine. So while we had the store, and this is prior to the pandemic, I had to make a decision: do I want to continue, doing this, or do I want to continue doing that? And the credit repair was very lucrative at the time, so I decided to sell the store and go full time with the credit repair office. And for about 3 years, we struggled. We had issues. We had unhappy clients. Obviously, learning a business that you have no idea how to do,
of course,
takes a large toll on you. Stress-wise, financially-wise. For the first 3 years, we basically didn't make any money.
I think that's any business, though. I feel like it's always the build-up, right?
Correct.
So in real estate, for instance, I teach real estate agents how to sell real estate. I sell real estate myself. The first 3 years is always the bitch. It's always the growth. It's the growth level, like you're trying to grow it up, and you have to make mistakes. But I think the problem that most entrepreneurs face, at least with real estate agents, I just have a problem getting them on the phone to make a phone call because they get afraid of being told no.
Right.
Here you are getting people's social security numbers. They're telling you, fix my credit, and you're going back to them with no results. And how did your mindset feel at that point when you weren't getting people results? Like, how did you keep going with that during the negativity?
My motto in life is you never fail. You just don't produce the right result. And having that mindset allowed me that every Friday when I kick the door down and said, I'm never coming back here again, on a Monday morning, wake up at 6 a.m., go to the gym, and bring myself back together to go back to work and try again, and try again, and try again. And that try again resulted in a very successful company today.
Wow. So that's just crazy, though, because at first you felt like it wasn't going to work out. Is your brother still involved with you at all in the business?
He's not. My brother went a different way, which kind of worked out well for us.
Okay.
And he's got a very successful liquor company.
Nice.
Yeah. Yep.
That's amazing. Is he here in Florida too?
He's here in Florida. Yeah.
Okay. I don't think I ever met your brother yet.
I don't think so. No. He's a character.
Will he be there on New Year's?
No.
Okay. All right. Cool.
He's got his own thing going on.
So you build the business up. Now I got to ask you, man, because like in my business in real estate, it's every single month you're back at zero. The thing I love about the credit repair or any business like what you have is that you have recurring revenue.
Correct.
So like every single month you have clients paying you to get a result. You're changing their life. You're helping them actually buy a house or buy a car or rental, whatever it is.
Correct.
So I got to ask, like, do you sleep pretty well at night knowing that you have
sleep very well
the recurring revenue coming in?
Well, it's funny that, the American dream is to be able to sleep and make money.
That's what Warren Buffett says. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
If you can't make money in your sleep, you're going to be working till the day you die.
Correct.
So
I mean, obviously, I still hustle. I still work very hard every single day. I'm in my office, managing. We have a fairly large staff now, and there's still a lot of issues going on, still a lot of customer service going on. But as an overall, I sleep very well. I wake up smiling.
That's awesome, man. And we live in paradise, of course, so that helps too. So you got the revenue coming in. All right, let's talk about the good stuff. So the recurring revenue is coming in every month. You have these clients kicking in, and you have more clients signing up every single day.
Correct.
So, like, how do I ask this? What does that look like monetarily wise? Like, can you share with the audience? Like,
sure,
okay.
Why not?
Like just year to date number. I'm just curious because I like to see the potential.
So it's an escalating business, obviously. Every single month, more people sign up. Obviously, some people get finished, some people can't pay. It's a progress. It's a work in progress. But as an overall, modestly, right now, year to date is close to 700,000.
Wow.
That's gross.
And this is that's gross year to date. Off of credit repair.
Off the credit repair, yeah.
That's crazy. So what else in credit repair? So if we have an entrepreneur out there who wants to start a credit repair business, like how did you learn it? Like obviously you had the trials and errors, you messed up a lot first. Is there a way for somebody to start a credit repair business and not make those mistakes? Like how did you get to that point to where you what does that look like for somebody out there who wants to start a credit repair business? How do they do it?
So basically, obviously there's many courses, okay? There's many online, courses that are available. Unfortunately, I did all those courses, and what they teach you is not exactly the way to do it. Through a lot of trial and error, through a lot of communication, and I actually have built a network of who are supposed to be my competitors, but actually they're my friends and they're my mentors, that we all bounce off each other.
Okay.
When there's an issue, when the bureau doesn't respond, we call each other and we come up with a plan. So right now, what I have in place is a very bulletproof system that actually works. We get deletions, but that's not the whole part of the business. There's a lot more to the business. We do trade lines, which is what are called authorizers or trade lines, where a customer comes to me and let's say they don't have any bad credit, but they want to get a boost. We'll add them to a person with a high limit credit card with a very extensive history. Now their credit score can jump as much as 100+ points in less than 30 days. So
that's perfect for a lender.
Correct, exactly.
Someone wants to buy a house.
Great for a lender. I've sold many. I've helped sell many homes in the past.
With the trade line, because the trade line.
Correct.
Well, because if I have a 600 credit score, I need to have a 700 to get a better interest rate or to qualify for a higher price home.
Correct.
The trade line could help me do that.
Exactly, that. We help people remove inquiries, okay?
So hard inquiries.
Right, hard inquiries. Let's say you go to a car dealer, it's inevitable, especially if you don't have an 800+ credit score, they're gonna run you to 10 to 15 different banks. Well, guess what? That looks really bad on your credit report. We help people delete those inquiries. We challenge the credit bureaus to delete those inquiries. We help people get credit cards. Okay, a lot of people don't know how to properly apply for a credit card. They'll just randomly go to, let's say, Citi or Discover or Chase, and they'll get denied and get discouraged. Right. Well, there's a system behind that. You have to understand why and where to apply and what's going to qualify you and what's not.
Okay,
based on your credit.
So real quick, based on that, so you told me something a long time ago of how to get, I think you mentioned like 7 credit cards or 5 credit cards at one time.
Do we want to share this online?
Okay, maybe not. So we'll talk off camera about this. So, all right.
Have people call us. We'll discuss.
All right, they can call us. Yes. They can call you, and we can put a note in the comments section.
Correct.
They can give you a call, and you can help them out with that.
Absolutely.
That's a course in and of itself, man. I feel like people need to know how to get credit cards. Like if you think of the people I talk to every day, they don't know anything about credit cards. They don't even know statement balance versus the close date. Like there's different things on the credit report to understand.
Right.
Like those things. How did you learn those things? Was it just by doing the business? Like how do you know best credit cards, or is it just a lot of studying?
I look at about 10 to 15 credit reports a day. So everybody, just like everybody's character is different, everybody's credit report is different. Mm-hmm. So, there's obviously similarities, but everybody has a different story to how they got there and how that happened. So based on information over the years, I've accumulated that, and I have a way of obviously getting people approved. There's a certain system to that. But coming back a little bit to our previous conversation about cars, for instance, a lot of people aren't aware of multiple different scoring systems. In your industry, in a house purchasing, in the mortgage industry, what the lender does is they take the average of the 3 scores.
Correct.
So if you're a 710, 705, and 700, they're going to pick the 705, right? Okay. Exactly, which is the middle score. While it's different when it comes to auto buying. If you don't have an auto score, which is determined by your ability to make on-time payments over the course of 12 months or more to a lender that lends you money on the car, that will determine your credit rating for an auto buy, for auto purchase.
Okay.
So people don't know that, and people go to a car dealer and they have a 750 credit score, but their auto score could be 550 because they've never bought a car before.
Yep. So I always wondered that because you look at your credit. If you go to a car dealership and they pull your credit, it shows a higher number maybe than what you saw on Credit Karma or one of those websites, or vice versa.
Because of your credit history with the bank that allowed you to buy a car, and you've made on-time payments.
Interesting. So those are just things that you kind of learn over time.
Of course, there's FICO, the Fair and Isaac Company credit score, which was the original one that created the credit scoring system.
Right, the Vantage
you have the
score.
Vantage score, exactly. So there's multiple. I believe there's 30-something different.
I remember you told me
systems.
Before, like 37 or something before, which is insane. I had no idea.
Very confusing. Till this day, it's still very confusing to me.
Wow. Okay. So somebody's listening to the video here, to the podcast. If they want to start a credit repair business, could they call you? Could they ask you questions?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, we have a franchise program available.
Okay.
We do have people out there that outsource us, to perform the work. It's a very lucrative opportunity for somebody that wants to start the business, because our business model, unlike everybody else's, is we don't dump the program on you and try to figure out how to do it. What we offer you is go sell to your friends, to your family members, to your acquaintances, anybody. I'll tell you a funny story. What happened to me one time when I first started the business. Me and the wife went to a restaurant. We paid the check, and I left my business card underneath the paid receipt.
Yeah.
So we're waiting for a valet to show up, and the restaurant, the waiter runs out. He goes, wait, stop. So I'm checking my pockets. I'm checking my phone. What did I forget? He comes up to me and goes, how did you know? I go, how did I know what? He He goes, how do you know I had bad credit? So that was a customer. So what I'm trying to say is everybody today, not everybody obviously, but most people have some kind of an issue or something that happened during the pandemic or it's going on now. Obviously, we have a large percentage of people that do take care of their credit and have an 800 or 700 plus credit score, but there's a very large people that don't.
Let's be real. The average person probably does not have the above average credit score, and it's not their fault. Sometimes not even their. I guess it could be their fault, but that's why you do it, because a lot of times the bureaus can really hurt people as well.
Absolutely. It's not just the bureaus, it could be those very same relatives. I had a client today that has spectacular credit, on time, everything perfect. One blemish was a co-signer for his son's car, and his son went to college and forgot to make the payment. So that shot his credit score down almost 140 points after one late payment. So we're gonna have to deal with that right now. But coming back to the business side, what we have to offer is very lucrative, like I said earlier, because what will set you up is with the system to where you can give people free consultations, check their credit reports, allow them to understand what's going on with their credit, get them signed up, collect the money, and pay us a monthly fee for them, for us to fix their credit.
Okay, so real quick, so if I have let's say I want to start a credit repair business today, right? And I have my friend or my cousin, let's say Alan, who needs his credit score fixed, right? So if I call Alan, what do I say to Alan on the phone if I want to get him to sign up with me, number one, and number two, how much can I charge Alan for credit repair? What do you typically charge?
So we average, the average monthly fee is about between $150 to $200 a month, depending on the difficulty of file. That's what we charge, So, the way you start a conversation is, listen, if the person comes to you or you come to him and say, Alan, what's going on with your credit? Oh, yeah, the guy says, look, I got some problems. Let's take a look at it. It will be a free consultation with no impact to your credit score at all, because we do a soft pull. What is called a soft pull versus a hard pull is there's no inquiry being placed on the credit report. Once we analyze the credit report, which I'll teach whoever wants to start how to do it, at that point, they have full control. At that point, they'll tell the person, listen, these are your issues, this is what we can do, this is how long it's going to take, this is how much it's going to cost. You sign them up and that's it. You overturn the file to us, we'll do all the processing. Next thing you know, that same Alan is bringing you 10 other people because he's pulling up.
That's the thing, dude, yeah.
Of course, because he's going to pull up on a brand new Lexus, everybody's going to find out why,
of course.
And how. Yeah.
So somebody in the audience wants to start a credit repair business and they're going to charge $200 a month for their friends to do it. What does that look? How much do they keep of that $200? What does that look like for?
We'll discuss that in person.
All right. So have them call and they can discuss all that.
Have them email, have them text. I'm always available.
Okay.
Obviously, leave my information, on the bottom of the video. Yep. Anybody that's interested, my name is Dennis. I'll be glad to help and get you guys started.
Perfect, man. Perfect. So So we talked about numbers earlier. So what's the recurring, 30K a month, 40K a month? What does that recurring revenue look like for the trusted credit repair business?
It's about, depending on the month, like right now we went through summer, recurring revenue averages about 40 plus.
Okay, wow, that's phenomenal. All right, so it's you and your wife that do the business together, right?
Correct.
Do you think how does that affect personal life? Like I see your phone blowing up all the time. So I'm asking you, how does that?
We don't work in the same office.
You don't work in the same office?
No. That would be the end of the business.
That's how how it seems to be. It's like when you fix a house together, it's like the same thing. It's like, okay.
So we have a rule, obviously, we try not to discuss business after hours. We do communicate extensively through email and text while we're at work, but it works out well because the profits are there. Everybody's happy. I get to drive nice cars. She gets to wear nice clothes and buy nice purses.
I see you guys have the Viper, you have the Mercedes, you have all the beautiful cars out there.
Correct. Actually, the Dodge Viper was my high school dream. I came to America. We weren't rich, obviously. So I had to bag groceries, like I said earlier. And the 1990s era, and the Dodge Viper was a legendary vehicle, which was a poster in my bedroom.
Wow.
And I said to myself, when I have an opportunity to buy one, I will buy one.
All right, so I'm big on manifestation. I'm not sure if you are or not. So every single morning, I write down my goals, my affirmations, like I am going to have this, or I want, whatever that is. You had a poster of a Viper, and now you have it. Do you ever actually reflect on that and think about how crazy it is that? It is.
It's funny that you say this. I don't write down. I visualize.
I do too. Yep.
Me being the creative artist, which my poor mom, wanted me to be an artist, but
apparently
you
have a talent.
Yeah, it's a talent, but it's a buried talent. I do doodle once in a while here and there, But visualization is a very strong point of mine, where I clearly see what I want and how I want it, and it manifests.
Okay, so I do this every morning too. For 10 minutes, I'll set my alarm clock for 10 minutes. I'll listen to some audio and I'll visualize. I'll sit there in the dark and I'll visualize, because everybody in the house, I wake up at 4 a.m., everybody's asleep, I'm there by myself, and I'll just visualize my certain things. Do you go as far as, like, and it's kind of weird that we're talking about this on this podcast, but I'm curious to know, do you like try to physically see yourself walking up to your car or to your house?
Absolutely.
Or to, like, and then you smell it, you see it, you touch it, you're standing there having a conversation, you're cutting up fruit on the counter. Like, do you visualize that deep, or
so,
like, how does that work for you?
There's actually a story behind that too. You know, as a little boy, when I came to America, I idolized Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know, and Sylvester Stallone as Rambo and everything else. There were also posters in my bedroom.
Okay, yeah.
I started working out at 15 years old, and, you know, I wanted to become the biggest guy there is. I didn't have any luck, I didn't have any success until I watched a bodybuilder, a very famous bodybuilder, discuss visualization and how he's seen himself, you know, bigger and stronger, you know, because what we did back then, you know, there were Muscle and Fitness magazine, you know, Muscular Development. We looked at pictures of other bodybuilders to try to motivate ourselves. And he said, that's the worst thing you can do. Don't look at them. Within yourself, you have to visualize what you're gonna look like. What is your chest gonna look like? What is your biceps gonna look like? What are your calves gonna look like? And the second I adopted that, I blew up. I got up to 280 pounds, competitive bodybuilding, you know, at 4% body fat, you know, I was on top of my game.
Insane.
Yep. And then there's the same analogy, the same system was implemented into my financial
business,
into my cars. You know, I'm very proud to be on some of the, you know, hottest cars in the market.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, that's I was gonna ask you about the business. Did you do the same thing for the business?
Same thing with the business. Yep.
Yeah, that's crazy. So I have this whole thing, mindset, muscle, money matters. So I live every day with that daily program where I just gotta focus. I have each category set up for what I have to accomplish in each section of that. So exercise, work on your mindset, which is the visualization, and then, you know, the money part is going to the office, got to hit so many certain phone calls and all that stuff. So I have, and then matters is the family time.
That's right.
So what you just said earlier about, you know, your rule is at home, you don't talk about business after hours.
And listen, everybody watching, you know, people are probably saying, well, what about setbacks? You know, it's a major subject we need to touch on. You know, setbacks are going to happen in life. You know, some of the setbacks for me is, you know, I nearly died because, you know, my stupid ass, you know, didn't follow the pain, and, you know, I ended up having 6 hernias and a near ruptured appendix, which put me in a hospital in an 8-hour surgery, and I was, you know, near pronounced dead. Survived it. You know, doctor said don't work out again. I said, F you, I kept working out, and here I am today. So setbacks are going to happen. It's how you deal with the setbacks in life is very important.
But real quick, dude, on that real quick. So the beautiful thing I love about your business, though, is that when you have a setback like that, you get sick, you get put in the hospital, or whatever happens, your business continues to still move.
It does. It does. As long as you have the right people working for you,
of course.
As long as you surround yourself with a good team of people, which anybody that's going to start this business, they're going to be by themselves. You know, they're going to start hustling, they're going to start getting clients and everything else. It can very quickly escalate into a team, you know.
But that's the thing, dude, you already have the team.
We do have the team.
So if that person out there wants to join and say, hey, I want to do, you know, work with Dennis and partner with him, you already have that team. If they get 10 people to sign up, and let's just say, I don't know what the numbers are, we'll talk about that, or you'll talk to them about it, but they make $100 a month off of 10 people. That's $1,000 a month right there.
Correct. Exactly. Exactly. And it's passive income because every single month it builds and it builds and it builds. Why? Because, you know, so the people that have started the first month, that group of 10, and you sign up 10 more the next month, now you got a group of 20. The next month you got a group of 30. 2, 3 might fall off, but the majority will stay in the program. Average client stays in the program between 6 and 8 months.
Okay.
So that's what you have to calculate. That's what you have to average out a client. Some people get done faster, so, you know, it's a numbers game.
But that's the thing, though. So if somebody has a full-time job and they want to do it part-time, you give them the option to be able to really start that.
Correct.
If somebody wants to do it full-time, they can still do it full-time. Maybe they take more of the responsibility or something, but
that's right.
You put them to
that's
plug
right.
and play
So
system.
So I encourage people, you know, obviously you start within your circle. Then, you know, you contact a lead company and you buy leads, but you don't buy credit repair leads. You get creative, you know, and which we'll talk in person. You know, I'll show you what to do. Opportunity is there. You just got to grab it. You just have to work hard. You have to be able to get into your house, your kitchen, your office, whatever you have. Pick up the phone and call, because out of 10 calls, 2 people are going to sign up.
Right. So what does a day look like for Dennis at the office right now?
Well, let's start at 6:45 a.m. You know, I get up, I drink my pre-workout, I'm in the gym. You know, I'm in my office. I try to be in my office by 9 a.m. Right now, there's about 10 to 15 people average per day that I do consultations for.
Wow.
You know, obviously I have salespeople and everything else I do myself, so I handle maybe 5 or 6. I'm very big in the Russian community, the Russian-Ukrainian community. Right now there's a big influx because of what's going on over there.
Of course.
A lot of people have come to this country. A lot of these people have no idea what's going on, you know, how to start a life in America. And we actually have a program to where we help people with everything. I have a connection with car buying. I have a connection with mortgages, how to buy a house, you know, through you guys real estate. You know, I said earlier, I can get them credit cards. You know, we basically get these people on their feet, fully, you know, understanding what does it look like to be financially free in America.
Yep.
So.
Wow, that's amazing, man. So that's a whole, and everybody in America, everybody needs that. They need some kind of help with that. So
Correct.
that's pretty cool.
Correct.
And we all know people who need that. So
Absolutely.
that plug and play system kind of helps a lot.
Yep.
All right, so Dennis, so before we wrap it up here, I just want to ask you, man, like, what kind of advice would you give a new entrepreneur, a struggling entrepreneur, just somebody who wants to really make it for themselves, but maybe they're just having a problem with it? Is there any kind of mantra that you live by, or any kind of help or guidance that you'd give
Absolutely. First of all, you need to figure out what is it that you really want to do in life, okay? A lot of people wake up in the morning, they go to work, okay, they're not happy because they're forced to do something they don't like. You know, I believe Mark Twain said, make your, you know, vocation your vacation, and figure out what you really want to do in life. And, you know, don't quit your job, you know, keep doing it, but as a side, you know, don't go to sleep, you know, early, you know, stay up a little bit later, do your research, you know, put in the extra hours, you know, don't spend your life on Netflix. You know, if you got a job and, you know, you want to start a business, you know, hustle, do the research, get on the computer. Right now, there's a plethora of information available to people. And the number one rule is persistence. Don't quit. You know, like I said earlier, you know, you never fail in life, you just don't produce the right result. A great example of that is the simple light bulb.
Thomas
you know?
Edison, right?
Thomas Edison, exactly.
Yep.
1,001 times, and now we have electricity. If it wasn't for his persistence, we wouldn't be having these lights and electricity
That's
today.
one of the, did you ever read Think and Grow Rich?
Absolutely.
That was one of Napoleon Hill's biggest
100%.
things, is persistence.
Yeah, so listen, hustle hard. You know, today we live in a society where social media overpowers everything, and it's a good and a bad thing for me. You know, I come from years of my life where we didn't have that available. I come from, you know, beepers and big cell phones, you know. So today, you know, there's so much information available, you know, hence these podcasts, you know, we'll be able to deliver to people, younger entrepreneurs, and everybody who wants to start a business, you know, how to, you know, not fail in life.
Right.
So definitely call us, guys. You know, we'll definitely help you out. You know, definitely, you know, have experience. We'll be able to help as much as I can.
Absolutely, man. So guys, if you're out there, you want to start a credit repair business, you have friends or family who wants to get into credit repair, or they need help with their credit score, you guys have the guy right here, Dennis. I'm going to put his contact information below. You guys can reach out to Dennis anytime, call or text. And then if you want to start a business, he'll walk you through that as well. Dennis, I just want to say thank you again so much for being here, man.
Zach, thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Appreciate it.
You got it.